I've had the Super 7, I just got in the Revoltech, so which of these Stitch figures belong in your collection? First and foremost, if you'd like to know more about this Super 7 figure, here is an unboxing video that I did with my daughter you can check out right here. That's going to walk you through a deeper dive into all the things that he comes with. So right now, let's just go rapid fire into what each of these figures has to offer. So even though I just got in this Revoltech Stitch, who is fascinating in his own right, so I'm not going to give you deep thoughts about this Super 7 figure, but I wanted to start out because the strengths of this particular figure are in the accessories. As you can see, Stitch comes with literally the big cake that he bakes in the kitchen, with the baking mitts, with this head sculpt, and now we're starting to get into why the Super 7 figure really does a fantastic job of representing this character. The variety of head sculpts is truly fantastic, and you get articulated ears on each of these, so you get so many different looks, including this nice, just classic Stitch look, different expressions. This one might be my favorite, with the bathing suit top, we'll say, to cover up the ears for the superhero look. And man, even this one's fantastic too. Truly. So in addition to the head sculpts, the Super Stitch came with a wired cape. Super 7 did a great job with this. It doesn't clasp together, but it actually does get tied, but there's wire all down here, so really nice accessory there. Of course, Stitch wouldn't be complete without that sweet set of shades. And then what's very interesting is the way Super 7 handled the hands is that each of these are swappable and pegged, which I really enjoy. So you have the clogged up space gun with the carrot from the movie, but as you can see, the hand is already placed on there, so it's a nice little feature. The whole accessory slash effect just gets ported in with the hands. So big fan of that one. And same deal with the snow cone, which is also really nicely done. That hand is on there. That is in, but I do like the little pinky out for it. So the Super 7 Stitch, no complaints. He also moves really well. Of course, he's going to have some limited mobility. You get the legs that don't do a whole lot, but you do get a joint on the elbows, which is nice. And just to show you, there's the peg that's in there, and it's articulated, so it's a movable peg, so you do get a little bit of movement. Nothing super crazy, of course, but you can see how I'm moving that peg around, so you do get a little bit of wrist articulation if you happen to need it with the baking gloves, but maybe not. This is truly a fully loaded Super 7 release. And because of the articulation model, you're going to get everything you want out of a Stitch photograph, but you are going to be missing some level of articulation. But again, nothing that you're going to miss. I love this toy. This guy has been a desk mate of mine since I got him. Really, just so many wonderful options. And I ended up doing the reissue of the Revoltech, because I love Revoltech, and I love their levels of articulation, even though it's not an official Amazing Yamaguchi superhero, so it might not hit those kind of levels, but it does the job. So now it's time to take a look at the latest and greatest, the Revoltech Stitch. This guy does not come with nearly as much. You only get 2 options for face plates, but here's the big, sweet aspect to getting this guy. You can turn him into his alien form. That is massively awesome if you are a fan of the movie. So you got the back fins, the antennas. You have included extra arms for the sides. And just like the Super 7 release, you only get one additional set of hands, and these have a little port in there so you can pop in their version of the snow cone. And that ports into the hands. So you actually have an option if you want the fully splayed hands, like being displayed now, or with something with a little bit more grip. Due to all of these accessories, he is going to be riddled with holes. That's just something that, if you're going to want that swappability, he will have these places that will not get ported up. That's okay, but I just wanted you to be aware. Then it is just a matter of popping these different accessories in. If you haven't ventured into Revoltech yet, it's a very interesting toy company. They use a slightly softer plastic. So I will just say that with any adjustments that you make, whether it's with Stitch or any of the superheroes that they do, you can see I'm just having a little bit because I don't want to break or harm this guy. So there he is now in all of his alien glory. In terms of articulation, same deal with the legs. You're not going to get too much, but because they're able to angle up like this, and this is the game changer, this head sculpt. So this is the game changer. This neck peg right here gets it where he can look fully up, and you can literally have him in the alien dog-like look. But there he is in his alien form, looking tremendous. And here is one of my favorite parts to this toy. Well, it's not this. This is terrifying. But as you can see, everything has the peg, the Revoltech peg. So for this head sculpt, I do actually have to use two hands. But this is why there are only two face plates. You can determine how wide of a mouth to make him. And it really does, just with those two sets of eyes, change the character, the tone, everything. Just by having some mouth articulation. It really does a fantastic job of being able to emote a variety of emotions. Right off the bat, going back to back with these guys, outside of some minor changes in color, this is something that this figure can only do, but this guy can't bake like this Stitch. Go figure. The other accessory that the Revoltech came with also are the sunglasses. So might as well do a little side-by-side comparison here. It does look like the Super 7 is a little bit larger. So we have Revoltech here. Super 7's a little bit more branched out. I think I like the builds of this. Quality-wise looks to be a slight improvement. I also like the lenses over the lenses on the Super 7, but really, I never really had a problem with these, so I'm not going to start having a problem. I now have just two sets, which is totally fine with me. I know that I will be able to use the cape with this Stitch, but other than that, a lot of these accessories, due to the hands, those pegs will not match up. So there are going to be specific accessories only for each of these toys. Now we could take a look at how these cones did. And it is so interesting. It is so interesting to me how some accessories are bigger, they flip-flop, and how others are smaller. So here, like these Super 7 glasses are bigger than the Revoltechs. Meanwhile, the Revoltech snow cone is larger than the Super 7 snow cone. Nothing makes sense. as long as it looks good to you. Are you happy with your purchases? So for me, I needed both of these guys. I shouldn't say need. I wanted both of these guys to be able to have all of the different stitch options that are presented in front of you. I wanted to be able to get into the alien form. I wanted to be able to get into some fun stuff. So this guy gives me alien form and also a crazy amount of articulation and just other shenanigans. I just think that this guy looks so great, even in stripped down regular stitch form using this faceplate. I'm going to show you some of the different emotions with the way the jaw works. It just looks awesome. I'm very, very happy and excited to get this guy, especially at the price I did, thanks to Hobby Genki and picking it up at pre-order. This did not break the bank having imported this directly from Japan. For retail, $55 with everything that you get with this stitch, I was totally fine paying that price point of $55. Now, being Super7, there's a very good chance that you might be able to catch it on sale. But this is a really rad stitch too. So I guess at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you which one of these is better because they do specifically offer different things while having a couple of things match up. This will probably serve most of your purposes, especially with the variety of head sculpts, especially with the addition of the accessories. However, this guy is so rad, and you do have to be careful about these joints. You don't want to lose any of these joints whatsoever. Gotta be careful about those when you take them apart. Now we get to see the Nightmare Fuel. And again, the way that works, peg, hole, and now we have back to Stitch Prime, where he still gets that awesome head and neck movement thanks to that Revoltech peg in there. The two sets of arms, you could swap this out. You can choose which arm you would like to use for this figure, but for the standard main arms, I did want to have the articulation. So I have the articulated arms on there. And this is the last little thing. Look at how different this expression changes with the variety of mouth openings. So you have this, just a little bit of teeth, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Now you got a little bit of teeth showing, but then full blown, whoop, push it too hard. But look at how wide that mouth is, and the teeth on this head sculpt, the teeth then become revealed. I thought that that was such a cool little feature when I had unboxed him. See that? When you start closing it, the teeth literally then get covered by the gums. But only on maximum chompage will those top row of teeth show up on this head. I love that fact. If you are a fan of the movie Lilo and Stitch, you have two really great options to choose from. Or you could be like me, and why not both? At the end of the day, as Stitch fans, we're eating really well. This is so cool. I'm happy I have both of these guys so I can kind of play around and figure out what other accessories are going to be my favorite, which ones can go together, like borrowing the Super7 cape for the Revoltech. You can't go wrong either way. And if you are able to or choose to get both, if you're like me in any of the stuff that I've talked about, then I feel like you're going to really enjoy it. So thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope I was able to help you make an informed buying decision between the Super7 and the Revoltech. Both awesome, both great. You're great. And just know that every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live to talk about life and toys. So hope to see you in the chat one of these days. But in the meantime, have a great rest of yours now. Purr.